That's the sound of a veto. Not just one, but veto after veto after veto. So far this year, Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs has issued a record 63 of them. So it's fair to ask, is that also the sound of a non-functioning state government? The sound of acrimony? The governor committed herself to putting partisanship aside and governing with a common sense Arizona first solutions. The job of a governor who we elect and the lawmakers who we elect is to get things done for the people of Arizona. So far, though, not much is getting done during Katie Hobbs' first 4 months in office. Tonight, we'll take a closer look at the long list of the governor's vetoes of bills passed by the Republican-controlled legislature. Also, why she's smashing records and whether our divided government can actually find common ground to perform the only job they're required to do, to decide how to spend our money, your money, in the state budget. Joining us to put some context to all of this is Team 12 political insider Bram Resnick, who has covered 4 governors. And Bram, what kind of bills is the governor targeting with her vetoes?
Mark, the main targets are bills that speak to the Republican base on guns, schools, abortion, and COVID. Here's a sampling. Republicans wanted to allow parents to bring concealed weapons onto school grounds. There was legislation to ban so-called critical race theory from being taught in schools. Doctors would have faced new requirements to treat any infant born alive. And ADOT's freeway message boards would have been scrubbed of any references to COVID-19 or other public health precautions. All those bills were vetoed.
And in the midst of all of these vetoes, Bram, is the governor signing any bipartisan bills into law?
There have been a few of those bills, but the governor is also facing her first showdown over a bill she vetoed that got overwhelming bipartisan support. Governor Hobbs has pleaded for bipartisan bills and said easing the housing crisis is a priority. She signed a bill that does both, providing compensation to some of the hundreds of people facing eviction from Phoenix mobile home parks. Now, this next bipartisan bill has become a hot tamale for Hobbs. Republican House Speaker Ben Toma, Senate President Warren Peterson tweeted late today that they're teeing up the first vote to override a Hobbs veto. Huge majorities passed a bill expanding street sales of homemade food like tacos and hot dogs.
And Bram, back in January, we talked about the impact of the first divided government at the Capitol in 15 years. Democratic governor, Republican legislature, we were expecting vetoes, but why is Hobbs breaking records here?
Well, Katie Hobbs is smashing veto records set by the last Democratic governor, Janet Napolitano, in the early 2000s. The takeaway here is that divided government under Napolitano was much different from what we see today. Let's compare and contrast. Napolitano was a moderate Democrat working with a moderate Republican legislature. There were opportunities to win support for her priorities. Hobbs is a progressive Democrat facing off with the most extreme Republican caucus in recent memories. Not many opportunities there for compromise. And in today's politics, both sides profit politically and financially from standing up to each other.
And Bram, let's finish where we started here with the only job the governor and lawmakers are required to do, and that is pass a state budget to keep the government running after June 30th. Can the two sides find a way to compromise on that?
Okay, here's the good news. I'm told that Governor Hobbs and Republican leadership are speaking to each other about the budget. The state's flush with a one-time $2 billion surplus, and there are reports by the Arizona agenda that they're experimenting with what I would call an Oprah budget. Each lawmaker gets to decide how $20 million is spent. You get $20 million, she gets $20 million. History shows, though, there are many twists and turns on the way to a final budget, but it appears right now both sides want to get it done and go home, Mark.
All right, Bram, thanks.